Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is Kids University and I'm your science teacher for grade 6. Today we are going to read topics from chapter number 5, Matter and their physical properties, from page number 54 to page number 58. So let's start reading. What will you be able to learn today in this unit? You will learn to describe a number of physical properties of everyday objects, the meaning of physical properties of materials such as electricity, strength, hardness, solubility, melting point, electrical conductivity, and heat conductivity. To recognize the similarities and differences in certain physical properties among the different type of material. To make comparison between materials based on some simple properties. Relate physical properties of material to their everyday uses. Now, every matter in this universe or in this world around us has some properties. Therefore, you are able to identify that something is water and how the temperature affects that water that changes into that ice cube, and when it is heated, that how does it turns into the steam or water vapors, so when you rise the temperature of that water, it seldom changes the physical property of that matter or of that object. Similarly, when an ice cube is provided heat, first it melts and become water. So these are the physical properties, and how the physical properties are affected by some other changes around the environment. We are going to discuss it. Uh, some physical properties which are specially discussed in this chapter are the physical properties of materials, that is electricity. We will talk about electricity, the strength of any material, and the hardness, and how, if something is soluble, then how and in which substances is something soluble. For instance, अगर आप नोट करें तो आपकी जो नेल कलर होती हैं, जो लड़कियां नेल्स पे अपने लगाती हैं फॉर कलरिंग देयर नेल्स, it is always soluble in alcohol, the special kind of alcohol that melts or solubilize that nail color. Or for instance, sugar and salt are soluble in water. Melting point, जैसे बर्फ़ का melting point जो है वो, I'm sorry, that's difficult to focus. Now let's start the topic. Almost everything in this universe is matter. Look at the picture above. Give one example of matter and one example of non-matter. Now look at the picture. They have shown you a galaxy that is most probably they are showing the Milky Way galaxy. Let's discuss matter. Matter is anything which has mass and occupies space. कोई भी ऐसी चीज़ जो 3 डायमेंशनली कोई जगह घेर ले और उसका एक ख़ास वज़न हो, हम उस चीज़ को मैटर कहते हैं. Rocks, wood, metal, air and water are examples of matter which are non-living, that is, they cannot grow, reproduce or move about by themselves. कह रहे हैं कि जितने पत्थर हैं, दरख्तों से हासिल होने वाली लकड़ी, मेटल्स आपको नज़र आते हैं, जिससे आपके बिजली की तारों में यूज़ होने वाला कॉपर वायर है, आपके इर्द गिर्द की हवा, पानी जो आप इस्तेमाल करते हैं, these are all form of matters which are non-living beings हैं. They cannot grow, reproduce and move about themselves. On the other hand, trees, insects, and human beings are example of living matter. Non-matter has no mass and does not occupy space. Do you think it is possible for anything to have mass and yet not occupy space, or vice versa? Please, if you know about anything, please describe about the examples. In each of the photographs above, can you identify anything that is not matter? कोई ऐसी चीज़ जो आपको लगे कि that is not matter, please identify. Physical properties of matter. Object or material are recognized according to their properties. Look at the photographs below. The objects shown have been taken from an unusual angle. Can you name each object? What property or properties did you use to recognize these objects? Can you recognize this? Can you recognize this? And can you recognize this? This seems the seeds of the kiwi fruit. This seems the satellite view of the earth from the satellite. This seems the skin of the zebra. Color, size, and shape are some common physical properties of matter. Please kindly excuse the continuous blurred focusing of my video. That's better. Color, size, and shape are some common physical properties of matter which are clearly visible. Other physical properties of matter include elasticity, strength, hardness, solubility, density, melting point, electrical conductivity, and heat conductivity. ये सारी चीज़ें किसी भी मैटर की फिज़िकल प्रॉपर्टीज़ जानने के लिए आपको उसका कलर, साइज़, शेप तो पता लग ही जाता है, बट कुछ और स्पेशल प्रॉपर्टीज़ जानने के लिए आपको पता करना पड़ता है कि क्या उसमें से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास हो जाती है, उसकी स्ट्रेंथ कितनी है, वो उसकी हार्डनेस कितनी है, टू इन विच मटेरियल इट इज़ सॉल्युबल, उसकी डेंसिटी आप मालूम करते हैं, उसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट है या नहीं और कितना है, इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी उसमें से हीट या इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी पास होती है या नहीं, और उसमें इलास्टिसिटी है या नहीं है. जैसे रबर बैंड है, इट इज़ मोर इलास्टिक देन एनी अदर, और wood it is not elastic. The elasticity of the pole helps to push the water up and over the bar. आप इसमें देख सकते हैं कि ये एथलीट he is jumping over that vaulter. Due to the elasticity of that pole is helping him to jump over that vaulter. Some everyday objects which works on elastic properties are spring balance, sponge, and soft rubber shoes. In plasticine elastic, is plasticine elastic? Give your reason. If you know that plasticine, if you agree that plasticine is elastic, then please give your reason. Strength. The strength of a material is its ability to support a heavy load without breaking or tearing. Steel and concrete are strong materials used for building purposes. Most pure metals are weak. They can be made stronger by combining them with other metals or non-metals. For example, steel is made from iron and carbon and is much stronger than pure iron. Now they're saying that to check if the strength of any matter is weak or strong, we check its stability and support, and we check that they are breakable or not, tearable or not, and it tells us about the strength of that material. Like steel and concrete are strong material for buildings, and most pure metals are weak. So we add the carbon and we mix the carbon and steel with them. Like steel is made from iron and carbon. जैसे हम स्टील बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग मेटल है, हम आयरन के अंदर कार्बन मिक्स करके उसको बनाते हैं ताकि वो मज़ीद स्ट्रॉन्गर हो जाए और उसकी स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ जाए. हार्डनेस. Please excuse for the blurred vision. I'm trying to focus a lot. Please kindly excuse. Hardness of a material is its ability to withstand stretches and wear. The iron nail stretches the plastics. The hardness of a substance is determined by stretching it with certain solids. A substance can scratch all other substances that are softer than itself, but cannot scratch those that are harder. Diamond, a form of carbon, is extremely hard and can only be cut by other diamonds. Graphite, another form of carbon, is soft. So here they want to tell you that hardness is another characteristic of material that tells you that how strong is that matter. For example, अगर हम किसी सरफेस की जो मैटर की सरफेस स्क्रैच करते हैं, अगर उस पर निशान पड़ जाता है, इट मीन्स द मटीरियल हैज़ अ सॉफ्टर सरफेस. जब भी तो उस पर निशान पड़ गया है. और अगर किसी सरफेस पे निशान कम पड़ते हैं या देर से पड़ते हैं तो हम कहते हैं कि जी इट इज़ मोर हार्डर देन दैट अदर सब्सटेंसेस. ओके, वी कैन नॉट इवन समटाइम्स वी कैन नॉट इवन स्क्रैच. Diamond, a form of carbon, is extremely hard and can only be cut by other diamond. And graphite, another form of carbon, is soft. डायमंड और ग्रेफाइट की जो कॉम्बिनेशन होती है कार्बन की, वो सेम फॉर्मूला होता है, मगर डायमंड के अंदर जो कार्बन की एटम्स की ओरिएंटेशन होती है, वो कार्बन के एटम शायद ग्रेफाइट के एटम्स के बराबर हों, मगर जो डायमंड में कार्बन के एटम्स की जो ओरिएंटेशन होती है वो बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होती है ग्रेफाइट के कार्बन के एटम की ओरिएंटेशन के साथ. देयरफॉर उस एंगल के साथ, जिस एंगल के साथ कार्बन एटम फिक्स हैं डायमंड में, उस एंगल्स की वजह से डायमंड इतना एक्सट्रीमली हार्ड होता है कि एंड इट कैन ओनली बी कट बाय एनी अदर डायमंड. ग्रेफाइट बहुत सॉफ्ट कार्बन फॉर्म ऑफ कार्बन है और वो आसानी से टूट जाती है. Find out whether chalk is harder than your fingernail by doing the following test. Scratch the chalk on your fingernail. Wipe off any marks made by the chalk. Can you see any scratches on your fingernail? Next, scratch the chalk with your fingernail. Wipe off any powder produced by the scratch on the piece of chalk. Can you see the scratch made by your fingernail on that piece of chalk? Which substances is harder, chalk or your fingernail? Science tidbits. The Mohs scale of hardness is the scale from 1 to 10 showing the hardness of substances. It was created by Friedrich Mohs. Sorry, that's Mohs and created by Friedrich Mohs. Please excuse for the blurred vision. Yes, that's better. The German mineralogist who based it on 10 minerals. The higher the number, the harder the mineral. Diamond is at 10 and the least is a talcum, that is called talc, and gypsum is on number 2, calcite is on number 3, fluoride, then apatite and orthoclase and quartz and topaz and corundum, and then the last is diamond. A fingernail has a hardness of about 2.5. Here, now we will discuss the solubility. Solubility of a substance in a solvent, usually liquid, is the maximum quantity of that substance which can dissolve in a given quantity of the solvent. Water is the most common solvent because many substances can dissolve readily in it. Substances that do not dissolve in water may be soluble in other solvents. The substance that dissolves is called the solute, and the substance that does the dissolving is called the solvent. The solute and the solvent together make up the solution. ऐसी चीज़ जिसको हम सॉल्यूशन कहते हैं, इसके दो पोर्शन होते हैं, अ सॉल्यूट एंड अ सॉल्वेंट. ऐसी चीज़ जो किसी भी चीज़ में डिज़ोल्व हो जाए वो सॉल्यूट कहलाती है, और ऐसी चीज़ जिसमें हम किसी चीज़ को डिज़ोल्व करते हैं यानी सॉल्यूट को उसमें हल करते हैं वो सॉल्वेंट कहलाती है. जैसे हम पानी में शक्कर मिलाएंगे अगर, तो पानी सॉल्वेंट होगा और जो सॉल्यूट है वो शक्कर कहलाएगी. दोनों मिलके जब मिक्स हो जाएंगे तो वो सॉल्यूशन बनता है. आम तौर पे हम सॉल्युबिलिटी चेक करते हैं कि कौन सी चीज़ किस, ज़्यादातर ही लिक्विड में चेक की जाती है कौन सी चीज़ किस चीज़ में डिज़ोल्व होती है. जैसे शुगर है वो पानी में डिज़ोल्व होती है, और अभी मैंने आपको थोड़ी देर पहले एग्जांपल दी थी कि नेल पॉलिश अल्कोहल में डिज़ोल्व हो रही होती है, वो भी स्पेशलाइज्ड अल्कोहल्स होते हैं. सो हियर कम्स द मेल्टिंग पॉइंट. The melting point of a substance is the temperature at which the substance changes from solid to liquid. The melting point of a pure ice is 0 degrees centigrade. That is, it changes from ice to water at 0 degrees centigrade. The melting points of some metals are very high. For example, iron has a melting point of 1539 degrees centigrade, and gold melts at 1063 degrees centigrade. कहना ये चाह रहे हैं कि जितने मैटर इस दुनिया में मौजूद हैं उनका कोई ना कोई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट होता है. मिसाल के तौर पर अगर मैं कहूँ कि आयरन अगर आपको मेल्ट करना हो, पिघलाना हो, तो आप 1539 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक अगर आप आयरन को हीट करेंगे तो ही वो मेल्ट होगा. सेम गोज़ विद द गोल्ड. गोल्ड 1063 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड पे, डिग्री सेल्सियस पे मेल्ट होगा. मेल्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ आइस, बर्फ़ का मेल्टिंग पॉइंट 0 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है और बॉइलिंग पॉइंट 100 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है. Now this is all for today. I am giving you the exercise, sending you exercise within the slides. Please check out and try to solve it and copy down in your science copies. This is all for today. The rest of the explanation of this chapter will be done next week. Till then, see you in the school. Inshallah, Allah Hafiz. In next week, we will be discussing electrical conductivity, heat conductivity, and comparing physical properties of different materials and everyday use of materials. That's it. Till then, see you. We'll meet you next week. Inshallah, Allah Hafiz.